Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of LegalWiki. Today I'm delighted and excited to have Vidushi Bhardwaj on my channel. Ms.Vidushi is a registered Indian patent agent, an advocate, and European patent attorney candidate. To tell you more about Ms. Vidushi, she has received a gold medal for all-round excellence in B.tech LL.B program and had secured rank 1 in her post-graduation, that's in LLM. After working with a tier 1 law firm in India for around 4 years as an Indian patent attorney, Vidushi moved to Germany to start her training to become a European patent attorney. She holds deep knowledge of patent laws and likes to research on the emerging IP issues. Today, she has joined us to share her experience of being a patent agent. A very warm welcome to you, Vidushi. I'm so excited to have this conversation with you.
Thank you, Sobi, for the wonderful introduction. I'm so excited to share my experiences and yes, to learn. Yeah, maybe we will receive some comments and we'll come to know what all reactions people do have.
Yeah. Sure. I'm also looking forward to this. So before we begin, I would like to thank you for accepting my invitation. I hope this conversation would be fruitful to our viewers. So with this, let's begin.
Sure, that's my pleasure.
So my very first question, what are the basic requirements to become a patent agent?
Okay, so to become a patent agent, I would just talk about the Indian scenario first. To become an Indian patent agent, you just need a bachelor's degree. Basic is bachelor's degree in science background. It includes B Pharma, BSc, B.tech, BE, any science background, a degree of science. So that is the basic necessity. Of once you possess this degree, you are eligible to appear for the patent agent examination, which is conducted maybe once a year or once in 2 years. It's not so sure. So last time it was conducted in 2018 and then in 21. So it depends on the number of patent agents which are required by the
It is
patent
not
office.
conducted every year.
No, it's not so certain. But yes, it was conducted last year, and now also we have this exam next month.
It's on 7th May.
Yes, exactly. It's on 7th May, and the preparations are going on.
Yes. So you don't require knowledge of law when you're preparing for this particular examination.
Technically, if we say that knowledge of law is not required, but if you have that knowledge, then it adds to your value.
Okay.
Because the way you attempt your paper as well. So it has objective and subjective papers, different papers. So for the subjective paper, when someone who has knowledge of law would be attempting it in a different way as compared to the one who is, let's say, an engineer. So that makes a difference. And not just the exam, but once you start practicing, once you deal with your clients, you talk to your clients. So a lawyer, I would say, I mean, we should not take it personally because I'm an engineer, I'm a lawyer, but I know that this thing, a lawyer does it well. Generalizing the thing,
basically being a lawyer adds a value to this.
Yeah, to this profession, I would say, yeah.
Yes. Okay, so you are patent agent right now, and before that you were an attorney, right? So what's the difference between both, and how do their respective roles and responsibility differ from each other?
Okay, so once you have that science degree and you clear this examination, which is conducted by Government of India. So once you clear this examination, you become an Indian patent agent and you get some enrollment number, just like a lawyer gets. But then if you also have a law degree, then you become an Indian patent attorney.
So for a patent attorney, you need a degree of law, but for patent agent, you don't need a degree of law, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Anyone from a science background can become a patent agent.
Yes, exactly.
Yes. So now moving forward, so you prepared for the patent agent examination. So how did you prepare? What kind of questions are being asked?
Initially it used to be an easy paper, but these days, in fact, I cleared it in 2018. But when I saw the question paper of 2021, I was like, oh, they have increased the level. The difficulty level has increased, and we are expecting even more difficult level this time. But at that time, it used to be easy. And yes, because I was already interning and I had completed my internships at many law firms in the same field, working under patent attorneys. So I somehow had an idea that how I have to prepare. And apart from that, there is an act, Indian Patents Act 1970, and you just have to make it your constitution, just like a constitution. So just go through it and just the sections, the rules, just go through them, find the logic there, and you are done. You'll definitely clear the paper.
But someone who's not from a law background would not be facing difficulty in reading these laws, interpreting these laws.
Yes, he might face difficulty until and unless he has already been practicing in the field. Because once you have the degree, like you have done BTech, BSc, anything, so people usually, when they are so clear that, okay, I have to pursue this patents field, I have to just enter in this field. So they get the jobs, although the pay scale is different once you are not qualified, but you
Okay.
get a job if you are keen about that. So they start practicing and then they try to clear the exam simultaneously. So if they're already practicing, then maybe, it becomes easy for them that, okay, I already know this, how to interpret this. But otherwise, personally, I feel that if you have studied law, if you have knowledge of law, you know how to read laws, then it becomes very, very easy.
Correct. So
Yeah, and
apart from, continue.
and someone who has done BTech, especially because I know more about BTech,
Uh-huh.
it is very difficult for them to interpret laws, basically.
Yeah, obviously, it would be
And
very
to attempt
difficult
a
for them to
subjective paper.
understand. Yes. So do you have interview also?
Yes. So basically, if we talk about the examination structure, it has three levels. The first exam is an objective exam. So that's 100 marks question paper with all objective questions. But
Mhm.
one where I would say that the difficulty level is increased is there are questions where there are more than two correct options, more
Okay.
than one, more than two. So there it becomes difficult. And on the same day, after a break of maybe 2, 3 hours, so they conduct the second examination, which is a subjective paper. And then people who qualify that exam, then they are called for interviews which are conducted by people maybe who are examiners or who are officials at presiding at Indian patent offices, or
Mhm.
maybe some partners from reputed law firms, yeah, some senior partners, retired ones. So they take the interview. And to qualify that, for the first two examinations in both the papers, you need at least 50%. Then
Okay.
only you will be called for the
And
interview.
there might be a negative marking also.
No, as of now, there
Yeah.
is no negative marking. Yeah.
So you need to be
As
very
far as
thorough.
I know, yeah.
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 So, apart from patent agent examination, are this the same requirements for other IPRs? I think there is a trademark agents also, right? So it's
Yeah.
the same, you have to appear for the examination or it's something else.
Yeah. It's like if you have a law degree, then you don't have to clear that examination. You can automatically register yourself and get your enrollment number. But if you do not have a law degree, then you have to clear that examination.
Okay, so for trademark, you don't have to appear for the examination, but for being a patent agent, you have to appear for the examination.
Yeah.
So moving forward, are there any global opportunities available to patent agents registered in India?
Um, it depends. It's I would say it's similar to lawyers who have enrolled themselves with some Indian courts. So because they have this arena within India, they can practice well, just for Indian patent agents as well. So we have this Indian arena throughout the boundaries. So we can practice, we can appear in any patent office, and we can practice independently as well.
Okay.
But if you want to move out of India, then it's like you have to start from scratch, because for them, your qualification doesn't matter. You, for me also,
Mm-hmm.
though I was an Indian patent attorney there, and after 4 years of working, so it was like some kind of seniority I was experiencing. Yeah, so when there are some juniors in the law firm, they often ask you, please train them. It gives you a different kind of a feeling, I
Right.
would say. Yeah, sometimes when you are not overburdened, it makes you happy. But when I moved to Germany, so here I am a trainee again. So I'm being trained. Yeah. And
Okay.
I'm not considered as an equal associate or as an attorney like other attorneys are
So
here.
again, you are at the
Yeah.
stage one where you are learning.
Yeah. So one plus point I have is because I already know the basic concepts.
Yes.
Here, they do not have to teach me from beginning. I
Mm-hmm.
know the concepts, but I don't know their practice. Don't know their laws, their rules. I just have to learn their rules, but I have a basic idea of how to implement. So that's a plus point of moving abroad. But if we plan so, then we should have a lot of patience and tolerance, because after working as a senior, then
Right.
you'll again be a trainee.
So do you have to appear for any exam in Germany?
No, not to start working, because I am already doing my candidateship, which is a traineeship for 3 years. And to become a European patent attorney, I will have to give several exams, in total 4 to 5 exams
Okay.
within a span of 2 years.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Right.
So basically, once I complete 2 years of practice here, I will be eligible for the first examination. And once I clear the first examination, I'll have to clear 4 more exams.
Oh my
After
God,
that,
that's
I'll
a
be a
lot of
European patent
that's
attorney.
a
Yeah.
lot.
That's way too difficult than the Indian patent attorney exam. Yeah.
Yes. And you have to learn their laws also, right? Laws,
Yes.
how do they practice? So
Yes. It's quite detailed one. I would say that Indian patent law is similar to the European one, but it's like a subset of the European one, because European practice is so vast.
mm-hmm.
And Indian practice is similar to that, but not so detailed like that.
So moving on, as you're working, I think for a very long period of time. So do you remember any interesting cases or anything you have worked on being as a patent agent or patent attorney? Any interesting cases you would like to share?
Interesting cases, actually, it's different from a lawyer, because they do get some interesting cases, some stories behind that, some interesting facts. But working as a patent agent, you just get some technical details, and you will get some invention, and just go through it, understand it. So there is nothing so interesting, so fascinating about it, until unless you are so much into that kind of field, into that field. But yes, sometimes we do get some, like when I used to work in India, so there were some individuals, and in fact we used to get some calls from students, from some science students. One, I remember there was a boy who was in 11th standard, and he wrote a mail, a detailed one, because he might have gone through about through these patent laws and how these firm deal. and which is too much for a boy who is still in 11th grade. And he wrote a big mail to us that, see, I have this device with me. The device, I still remember, it was something related to a can, which was a small can, like a cold drink can, which we get.
Yeah.
And he did some layering over that with some gaseous filling that it can keep that drink cool, and it's reusable. So it was interesting. And the main point was that the boy was just 17 years old. So he wrote a mail and he said that, I want to apply for it, but I do not have so much funds. So can you please suggest me how to proceed? And the managing partner at my firm, she was so kind that she asked the senior partner to respond to that boy with all the details and to help him a lot, like to suggest him what way he can proceed, and how he can hire. That government gives some benefit, like government gives some benefit, and they ask the certain attorneys who are registered to compulsorily work for you at low cost
Okay.
if you are a startup or you are an individual.
Mm.
So there are certain schemes from government. So that partner wrote a detailed email explaining all these facilities which he can get, and he explained to that boy. So I would say that was a different experience for me. I never expected such a big law firm to entertain a client like him, but they
Uh-huh.
did. Yeah.
So do you know what happened at the end? So that boy was able to register it or not?
No, I did not know. Actually, I did not follow up regarding that.
Uh-huh.
But being 17 years old, he took such a step. I'm sure he would
That's
have done
very
it.
interesting. Yes. So,
Yeah.
so how much one can expect that that amount will be like expenditure for registering something? Any
For
fixed?
patent, it depends. Yeah, it depends because for companies, it the figure goes around certain lakhs. But if you are an individual or a startup, then you can get some benefits which are given by the government. And but then also, I would not say that it's so negligible or the amount is so less. Yeah, getting a patent cost you a lot.
Right, right. So, moving on, apart from being a patent agent or attorney, can you discuss the other opportunities available to students who have pursued BTech LL.B. specially or BSc LL.B? Because nowadays, there are a lot of NLUs, they have also introduced this course for BSc LL.B. So, students from the science background can go for this. So, because they consider that they are having very less opportunities in comparison to someone who have pursued BLLB or BBLLB. So, is
Mhm.
this really any difference?
See, the degrees we get, they are equivalent. So if I have a BTech degree, that's equivalent to other people who have done just 4 years BTech. So now I have two options. Either I want to pursue in technical field, or I want to pursue this law field, or a field which amalgamates both,
Yes.
like the one I'm doing. Yeah.
Hmm.
So I have a few friends who are there in the technical field only, like few people who are computer science engineers and then law in cyber laws. They studied cyber laws along with that. So now they are just working in the technical field only. But since they know laws, so it adds to their value. Like
But
few can work in privacy laws, and few people they are working just in laws, but their technical knowledge adds to their value. And few like me, they are working in a field which needs both. In
so,
fact, we
hmm,
have, yeah, because, and one more thing, who are more interested in academics and judiciary as well, because these days, since we have a lot of cases these days, like patent cases, trademark cases, when you will have a lot of cases, then few of them will be stuck at some court also. It's not just before the trademark office and patent office. They approach courts. And when we have judges who don't know technologies, it becomes very difficult.
Right.
That's why these days we have many judges who were initially practicing in this field, in the field of IPR, in the field of technical technology, maybe some computer science or something. So if they want to go for judiciary, they want to be judges, then also at some level, I would not say that it helps them to clear the examinations. That's equal for everyone. But yeah, maybe for interviews, it will definitely get an impact that we need such judges, we need certain people in judiciary. And for academics, because we have these courses coming up, BSc LLB, B.tech LL.B,
Yes.
then we also need academicians. We need teachers to teach them.
Right.
A teacher who has never studied technology will find it difficult. And I feel that they should not teach students who are dealing with technology, because their way of interpretation, their approach towards the field would be different.
Very different. Yes.
Yeah. So it's not just that you can be a patent agent, but any field you can choose and you will proceed differently from others.
So basically, there are a lot of opportunities available to them also. It's nothing like that. There is a difference if you're doing BLLB or you're doing BTech LL.B.
No.
Instead of that, you're having more options. So, like,
Yeah. And some new options.
yes, some different options you are having.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So moving on to my next question. So now, as we are talking about Germany and we have bit talked about Germany, so what is the scope of a patent attorney's work in Germany and how it is different from India?
It is not different at all because similar law firms we have in India and similarly the structure, the working we have here in Germany. As people who are not qualified and who are being trained work in India, similarly, I'm working here because I'm being trained to qualify that examination. So work structure is similar, practice is similar. It's just that because their practice is quite detailed, so somehow you have more work here, but the similar one only. I would not say that this is entirely different from what we do in India. Yeah, it's almost similar, but just you have to do few more steps to get a patent application granted. And because there we are just talking about Indian applications, here we are talking about European applications.
European applications, yes.
Yeah, so the you get more work here and maybe more exposure in
Yeah.
that sense, just
Yeah.
yeah.
And what about work-life balance?
Work-life balance, if talking about Germany, so it's good. It is actually good.
Okay.
But I would say that in India also, I never had a bad experience. Like I worked with two organizations, two very nice organizations, but I never had a bad experience. Like I was stuck somewhere, oh, I'm not living my life, I'm so overburdened. It was never like that. It happens with people. I have a few friends who are into litigation, especially. So for them, it's like 10:30, 11, they're returning their home. So, and they're working even on Saturdays, Sundays. It never happened with me when I was in India. Maybe I was fortunate enough. And but here, it's like strictly you can't work on Saturdays, Sundays. Working hours are also limited. So here, the government tries to maintain the work-life balance. Yeah.
That's amazing. Okay, so coming to my last question. So, anything you would like to share with those who will be appearing this exam or with the students who are pursuing BTech LL.B right now?
With the students who are pursuing B.tech LL.B right now, I would say that don't expect that you will just become a patent agent and then enter some law firm and do that monotonous work. It's not like that. You can do whatever you want And you have some examples also. So if we go through certain profiles who have pursued this B.tech LL.B course, they are working in different directions. So we have examples, and you can either set up your own firm, you can practice, you can go into litigation as well. Because right now, with these law firms also, when we work on some certain cases, so we hire people who are very good at litigation,
Yeah.
and we give our technical input to those people. But
Mhm.
if you are very good at litigation and you also have a technical background, then you don't need anyone.
That will
People will
actually add
hire
value.
you.
Huh?
Yes, people will hire you instead of hiring two people. It adds to your value. So
Yes.
you have different options like litigation. And if you want to go into academics also, it's not like that you have pursued a very professional degree, now you can't go into academics. Academics is equally important and equally fruitful profession these days. It's not like you are earning less or you are not getting that exposure or fame or anything. In
Mhm.
fact, your relatives also, if you care about them. So this
Yes.
profession has gained a lot of respect. It already had, but a lot of I'm not getting that word, maybe fame or limelight, yeah,
Uh-huh.
and go into that also. And there you will be teaching students who are pursuing such courses. If you want to go for judiciary, go for it. There also, you will add something different from others. And then, if you want to go only into the technical field, there is no problem. There are some energy engineers, energy auditors who have done law. So they are working well. In fact, you will have a different approach if you
Correct.
have certain knowledge and you are working in a field with others. You can see that your approach will be different from others.
Correct.
So it's not like that your career options are limited. No, it's not. In fact, you have a better exposure and you have more options available. Secondly, for people who are appearing for this examination, which is going to be held on 7th of May, all the best, because we expect that it might be difficult. But if you have gone through the Patents Act 1970, just all the sections, chapter wise, and the rules, and just go through the logic as well. Because initially, I remember that when I was preparing for the examination, so at that time, we were asked to cram few things like numbers, section numbers, rule number, but now it's not like that. Now you have to go by logic as well.
Okay, you have to
So
remember
that's
cases also, case laws for
uh,
patent.
not really, not like law papers, but
Okay.
yes, few, yeah, few landmark cases, and that's around 4 to 5 cases. That's it.
That's fine.
Not as much. But yeah, section number, yes, we used to. But I think now they have changed the pattern. Now you don't have to rely only on section number that, okay, I know all the sections and I can go through it. Now you also need to be very clear with the logics,
Yes.
and especially the drafting paper. For the second paper, uh, please work on time management. It's nothing more than time management.
Um,
Yeah, and all
thanks
the
for
best.
Thank you so much for your insight. And adding this to one more thing. So, we were talking about the energy loss. And even I think that if you're from a science background and if you're pursued BTech LLB, it will really add value because I have worked in energy loss and it involves so many technicalities for which we have to refer to the engineers. So, if you're already
Yes,
having that particular knowledge, so obviously it will be helping you out. So, that's the other
exactly.
field they can enter into.
Yeah.
So, thank you so much, Vidushi. Here we have come to end of our session. Thank you once again for accepting my invitation and giving your valuable time. So I hope all these wonderful insights would be like fruitful to all those who are interested in becoming patent agents or attorneys or someone who are pursuing BTech or BSc LLB. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. That's all my pleasure. Yeah.
Thank you.